CanvaWala on all of my social media platform. So as you always know, we are always here. I am always here with a very special guest. So today we have a very special guest whose name is Moosa M Ilyas. So let's have a chit chat session with him, and we hope to have a great talk with him. So first of all, Assalamu alaikum Moosa bhai, and how are you doing today?
Walaikum assalam. Peace be unto you, Hamzah, my friend, and to all your listeners. Allah kabat ehsan. I am doing well. I hope you are doing as beautiful as your background is. I hope that is exactly how you feel. Thanda thanda.
Alhamdulillah, that's how I feel thanda thanda in while staying inside of the rooms with AC. So thank you so much for being here with us and giving me this special time. It really means the world to me. And so first of all, I would like Sir Musa, I would like to request you to give your short introduction to our viewers so that they can get to know about you.
First of all, Moosa Bhai works really well. Sar pair Moosa ki zarurat nahi hai. Moosa Bhai is perfect. Even my kids call me Moosa Bhai. Um, so I am related to Rehan Bhai. I'm about 55 years old, and this whole Rehan Bhai, obviously, so Rehan Bhai, the founder of the schooling system, this AI वाला जो आप जिसमें आप पढ़ रहे हैं, वो उसके फाउंडर हैं, उसके विजनरी हैं, and since I've known him from my bachpan only, I'm older than him, and so this when he always was very innovative and really into this computer stuff and doing always something new and weird and really different. So he when he started the school thing, he introduced me to it about a year and a half ago. I went and saw the his physical Korangi campus, and I was blown away. I myself, all my life, worked in business, and uh, in the last couple of years, because of some issues, I was pretty much, off business and kind of living semi like a retired life. So I started putting some time into this Rehan School thing, and oh my God, I was so blown away by meeting people like you and all these other incredible children who are so talented and who are doing such amazing work at such a young age. So, mashallah, I was very,
Thank you.
very impressed to see that. And even someone like you who's doing regular schooling, because mashallah, you just had your graduation from regular schooling. So, the children who are putting in double the efforts, so salute to them. And,
Thank
it's very rewarding to see the progress amongst all these children. So, I'm very impressed by the work that's happening with the school.
thank you so much. So, thank you so much for giving us your introductions, Musa bhai. So, now my first question would be with you is when did you get to know about this Rehan school, and how are you like have a friendship with Sir Rehan or how do you know him from Bachpan? You used to go
So
to school
my
together.
bachpan so we are related in such a way that his mom, Rehan's mother, is my khala's daughter. So his mom is actually my first cousin. So मेरी खाला की बेटी हैं रेहान साहब की वालदा एंड वो उनके बेटे हैं बट एज डिफरेंस हम दोनों में between me and Rehan is only a couple of years. I'm the youngest in my family, in my father's side and my mother's side. Amongst all the children, I was born in the end. I was born in 1970. So naturally, I've known Rehan. I was very blessed. I went to the American school. Rehan went to the conventional schooling system, because the conventional schooling system does not encourage individual thought, whereas the American school does. So this is why I think, and Rehan was unfortunately stuck in the local system. I think, which is why he saw the issues with it, and he struggled. There was a lot of struggles that he also faced in his life, and I think he's come up with this brilliant. He's still in the form of forming it, but he's come up with a brilliant idea of getting children engaged at a younger age, एंड उनको ये इतना जो रेहान साहब का ये जो विजन है बच्चों को एआई इंट्रोड्यूस करके सिखाना आई थिंक इट्स जस्ट phenomenal the way things have been moving, how fast they've been growing. And Rehan has been somebody who's always grabbed the newest thing before things start catching on. These new technologies, he grabs it and sees how we can use it, incorporate it in our life to make it better. So I find that pretty exciting to be part of that venture, to just see that.
Yeah, that's good to know. So, thank you so much for telling us that, Musa bhai. So, now I would like to ask you, what do you think about Rehan School, and what do you think what would be its future, and how would it turn out to be, not just in Pakistan but worldwide and international?
Bhai, so Rehan's vision is clearly global, very global. I saw a Facebook post only that he was traveling to the US, in fact, pretty close to Toronto. He was in New York to look at purchasing some, a campus, a ready-made campus, to start this system over here. I think it's a brilliant idea. A little preliminary because the Rehan Saab is still in the process of forming that curriculum, finalizing it. So वो I think preliminary है, but I think it's a very exciting thing. There's 100% potential. And I do believe that the system needs some, like you are going to a regular schooling system, like आपकी graduation भी हुई थी. I saw those beautiful pictures. So certain things which are
Thank
not,
you.
because Rehan School is also not a full-time school. It's kind of like part-time. There's less number of hours, and there's no sciences and maths and focus. It's the focus is different. It's to create leaders, to empower children. And so I think that a mix of the two, to use this AI technology which helps in children's confidence building and giving empowering them. I think that's important, as well as the focus on the basic sciences. I think a combination of these two should be is probably something which, and I'm sure Rehan School will probably, वो curriculum तो evolve ही हो रहा है. I'm sure वो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ये सब चीजें भी incorporate हो ही जाएंगी. But I think it's very exciting. I think it's definitely the future. And regardless, I think Rehan साहब जो impact create करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, and the opportunities that's being given to so many people, and not just young students like you, but even Buddha uncles like me. यहाँ पे there is a golden club that they've started online for people who are living abroad, or who are not, to introduce them to AI. Your ACCL book is such a fantastic thing to introduce that to parents. So it's a very engaging platform, which I think has incredible potential, and which is why I think it's so exciting. Besides the jhadu pakda dena, safaiyan karana, and ye sab, which I think is really incredible. But the things that there's no books, everything is online. I think this is the future, and it's amazing.
Yes, sir. Thank you much for explaining us future and what do you think about it. So now, as we been mentioning that sir is opening a campus, which means Toronto. So are you planning? Were you planning to?
अल्लाह अकबर, प्लानिंग टू विजिट. मैं तो रह जाऊंगा वहां पे अगर टोरंटो में वो खोल देते हैं तो, एब्सोल्युटली. बट राइट नाउ आई थिंक वो तो सब अभी तो ख्याली पलाव हैं. दीज आर ऑल हिज विशेस. मे अल्लाह ताला मेक हिम सक्सेसफुल. And yes, I am always hazard to do whatever I can, however I can contribute. I'm always willing. I think he knows that. I'm spending a lot of my time with the Rehan kids in this, because I'm absolutely loving it. There is something amazing happening which we still can't point out, can't put our finger on it, but kuch to maza aa raha hai.
Yes, sir. That's good to know, and inshallah we'll get to know about this maza. So thank you so much for telling us that, Sir Musa. So now I would like to ask you, since when have you been living in Toronto, Canada?
Oof. So complicated story. I got married in Ottawa in Canada in 1996, and then because my wife's family is all here, Susral, and even I have some family here. And then from 96 to 2007, regular Ana Jana, summer vacations, ye wo hota tha. And then my in-laws had moved to California. तो फिर हमारा कैलिफोर्निया ज़्यादा रेगुलर विजिट होता था rather than Canada. But anyways, in 2007, चूंकि everyone was Canadian except for me, so we decided to move to Canada. So मेरा भी passport हो जाए. And 2007 is when I moved to Canada. Then I moved back in 2012. And about 2 3 years ago, my family वो पाकिस्तान के हालात, a lot of some complications as well. So my family moved out about 3 years ago. They moved back to Canada, and मैं पीछे पीछे आ गया उनके.
Okay, that's
मतलब,
good to know.
हम्म,
जी आप मुकम्मल कर सकते
हो गया, मैं मुकम्मल हो गया.
हैं. Okay, that's good to know. So thank you so much for telling us that, Musa bhai. Now, since you have been saying that you have moved to Canada to get the citizenship, as you are not
जी.
the only Canadian in your family, so I would like to ask you, have you gotten the citizenship?
जी 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 8-10 साल हो गए अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह.
Alhamdulillah, that's good to know. So thank you so much for telling us that, Moosa bhai. So since you have moved to Canada from Pakistan, your Karachi as your homeland or home place, so what is your experience? How was your experience? Differentiate. How could you differentiate it between Karachi and
So
Canada?
the difficult part in Canada is of course that you have less help because human beings की जरा पाकिस्तान में human beings की value जरा कम है, जरा सस्ता है इंसान. और यहाँ इंसान की ज़रा वैल्यू ज़्यादा है तो वो पैसे भी ज़्यादा देने पड़ते हैं. तो वो कम है तो बहुत सारे काम खुद करने पड़ते हैं. जैसे वहाँ सफाई वाली आ जाती है, ये आ जाता है, वो आ जाता है, ये सब चीज़ें होती हैं. सो दैट डिफरेंस इज़ गुड. इट मेक्स यू इनटू अ रियल इंसान, आई थिंक, व्हिच इज़ अ वेरी गुड थिंग. It's also people have less time as everyone is very busy and doing their own thing. So Pakistan, of course, because generally speaking, not just Pakistan, any place which is highly densely populated, there's a lot of communal living, and over here everything is very spread apart. तो वो थोड़ा सा distance वगैरह होता है. You get to spend a lot more time with yourself. Beautiful nature, obviously वो facilities वगैरह की तो जो चीज़ें होती हैं, बट आई थिंक इंसानियत है जो कि एक बहुत अच्छी बात है, जो कि पाकिस्तान में भी बहुत है, यहाँ पे भी बहुत है. यही फ़र्क है, यहाँ भी बहुत इंसानियत है. दीन अलग भी हो मगर अमाल इनके बहुत से, मैं पहले भी ये बात कह चुका हूँ कि बड़े मुसलमानों वाले हैं. कि नेबर बाप का भूखा ना रहे, सच्ची बात करो, कमज़ोर को भी इंसाफ मिले, थिंग्स लाइक दिस विच आर रियली वेरी इस्लामिक कॉन्सेप्ट्स. So it's always amazing to see the positivities of your own faith being practiced. When they are being practiced and you see the positive result of that, तो आपकी फेथ और स्ट्रांग हो जाती है इस चीज़ में. तो उस हिसाब से इट्स अ वेरी पॉजिटिव एक्सपीरियंस. आई स्टिल बिलीव पाकिस्तान इज फुल ऑफ मोर पोटेंशियल एंड देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ पॉजिटिविटी देयर because of very resilient community, because despite the challenges, despite the difficulties, लोग जो हैं बहुत मुश्किलों के बावजूद फिर भी इट्स मेहनत करके आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. तो आई थिंक आई हैव अ लॉट ऑफ रिस्पेक्ट फॉर दैट.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you so much for telling us that, sir. So now I would like to ask you, it has been a long time, I think so, for you being related with Rehan School and Rehan Allah Sahab. So could you please tell us that why haven't you chosen a Wala, and if you would get the opportunity to choose a Wala, what opportunity would you what Wala would you choose?
So, very interesting question. So, this Wala thing is actually something which is very common. So, the community that we belong to, me and Rehan Bhai, is called the Delhi Punjabi Sautagaran community. And in this community, the people were generally, their last names were usually associated with their business. सो रेहान साहब का फैमिली नेम है अल्लाह वाला, जो हिस्टोरिकली शायद फ्रॉम कमिंग बैक टू इंडिया वो प्रॉब्ली आलू वाला हु बिकेम अल्लाह वाला आफ्टर द कन्वर्टेड. एंड हमारा जो वाला है फैमिली का, वो दवाई वाला है. यानी इफ समबडी इन आवर फैमिली डाइज और वो मस्जिद में जब ऐलान होता है तो वो शेख मोहम्मद मूसा दवाई वाले. सो आई एम बाय दैट वे दवाई वाला. एंड इस केस में मैंने वो रेहान स्कूल का जो वो ये कॉन्सेप्ट है वाला वाले का, उसके अंदर द रीजन आई हैवंट चोजन इट बिकॉज आई सॉ द लिस्ट. वो इट्स अ लिमिटेड लिस्ट एंड आई अंडरस्टैंड रेहान साहब इज बेसिकली फोकसिंग ऑन अ हैंडफुल ऑफ थिंग्स. उन्होंने वो एक लिस्ट बनाई थी. सो नथिंग इन दैट लिस्ट रियली ग्रैब्ड मी एज आई एम ये वाला. तो इसीलिए आई चोज टू स्टिक विथ द फैमिली नेम एंड नॉट पुट अ वाला वाली ऑन इट येट.
So hoping to see a Wala Wali from you, but just for your suggestion, you can choose health Wala since you're saying about Dwai Wala and it's related to health. So as a suggestion, you can
मतलब मेरा
use.
कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है ना, मेरा कारोबार से, मेरा जो खानदान का और इन लोगों का जो कारोबार था, मेरा उससे कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है, मेरा कोई लेना देना नहीं है, अब कोई कोई वो नहीं है. तो वाला तो आदमी वो बने ना कि जो जिसका वो विच रियली डिस्क्राइब्स हु यू आर. सो आई डोंट नो, ना हैप्पीनेस वाला वुड डिस्क्राइब मी, ना कंप्यूटर वाला, ना आईटी वाला, ना एजुकेशन वाला, ना, इसलिए कि ये सारे वाले हैं मेरे अंदर. तो वो आई डोंट नो रेहान अल्लाह वाला कौन से वाले हैं, कि वो
Allah Wala.
Allah Wala to उनका family name है ना. So what is like उसमें in the list of the Rehan School is Allah Wala an option? It isn't, because that's not a thing. अगर होता तो भैया I would happily be an Allah Wala. अगर कोई है मेरा boss तो Allah ही है. तो
That's
उस
good.
हिसाब से तो I would be an Allah Wala, yeah.
That's good to know. Alhamdulillah, I'm also my boss is also Allah subhanahu wa
Allahu
ta'ala.
Akbar.
Allah Akbar. Okay, thank you so much for telling us that, sir. Now I would like to ask you, what are your hobbies, and when after your free time, or sorry, after your important time with your work or whatsoever you do or business you're on, what would you like to do, or what do you do when you just relax around? Do you spend time with family or what?
But of course, family is number one, as it is for everybody. So the standards, which are quite universal, no matter what creed or color or religion you belong to, is spending time with family, with loved ones, enjoying a good meal, enjoying nature. All of that is what the standard है मेरा भी है. I also enjoy entertainment, TV shows, whatever, movies, watching it together. Right now, with this YouTube era, there's so much content to consume, and with this AI and this, जो इतनी interesting चीजें आ रही हैं, and Chat GPT being out there, तो really अब पता नहीं कि if there really is free time, because the mind is constantly engaged, and now you have the mobile in your pocket, you have Chat GPT and access to information always. तो आई थिंक एंगेजमेंट तो बहुत ज़्यादा है. तो आई डोंट रियली नो कि मैं वही जो सबकी हैं चीज़ें, पढ़ना, लिखना, एन्जॉय करना, घूमना, कंटेंट कंज़्यूम करना, लोगों के साथ वक़्त गुज़ारना, वही हैं चीज़ें जो सबके साथ होती हैं. Nothing out of the ordinary. But I don't have any sports or any. What I don't have is any hobby sports. So I don't watch any sports, which is a little different from most. Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. So thank you so much for telling us that, Musa bhai. So uh, since you have talked the name about internet, sorry, entertainment, so would you like to tell us what type of movies do you like, and do you like to watch some comedy shows of
The comedy
Pakistan?
shows तो naturally मैं तो अगर if you look at my Facebook profile, I even call myself a comedian. So मेरे ख्याल से हंसना ज़रूरी है, हंसाना भी उतना ही ज़रूरी है. I do enjoy. I mean, these Abu Anwar Maqsood, these geniuses, these are people who maybe the young people really have not seen that much content of them. Pakistan has produced some lots of geniuses in comedy for a long time. Even from Lahiri and Allah Nanna, these are all ancient black and white era names. Um, but all kinds of comedy. Comedy is not restrictive to Pakistan. It's everywhere. Even stage shows and clubs, and now up to Karachi में comedy clubs stand up भी शुरू हो गई है. These are all things. Hasna, obviously, who doesn't enjoy? So हंसी मजाक तो हर किसी को मजा आता है. तो वही है कि मैं तो कोई भी चीज़ बहुत हैं, और अब पाकिस्तान में भी माशाल्लाह स्टैंड अप क्लब्स भी आ गए हैं, चीज़ें भी आ गई हैं. तो बहुत मीम्स आप देख लीजिए, मीम कल्चर कॉम. अभी ये जो वॉर इंडिया पाकिस्तान की जो खौफनाक ये बदबख्त जो एक हुई थी, उसके अंदर लोगों ने कॉमेडी निकाल ली थी. तो कॉमेडी तो एक चीज़ है विच इज़ द सोर्स ऑफ कीपिंग यू अलाइव. But I go back to the original comedians, are like Charlie Chaplin, Laurel and Hardy. This is when sound started, or even older. I mean, these. This it's the more you go into history, the entertainment world. I think comedy is the one thing which unified a lot of people.
Okay, so from this I can identify that you are an OG in comedian, right?
I
In
have an
comedy.
OG. I have a very OG. I am grand OG.
That's good to know.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's good to know.
लग
So
नहीं
think
रहा बुड्ढा.
yes.
लग नहीं रहा बुड्ढा. तुम तो देख के पहचान जाओगे. I am OG.
Yes, sir. Sir, that's very true, sir. Thank you so much for telling us that, sir. So now, could you please tell us what type of movies do you like? Do you like horror movies, or do you like Hindi movies जिसमें थोड़ा बहुत comedy भी होता है और
Oh, of
थोड़ा बहुत
course. In
भी
Hindi,
होता
of
है?
course. I mean, yes, yes. I mean, all the standard Hera Peri and, Houseful original and all that. Hindi ka to, of course, hui hu main. But even again, even usme bhi you can go back to old school from when there used to be very clean comedies. Satte Pe Satta. And, again, these are all, you will find them boring. Amitabh Bachchan, Sanjeev Kumar stuff. Angur, a fantastic comedy movie, but very, very old. So many, yes, English comedies and action. So Mission Impossible. I'm also a sucker for where you don't have to use your brain. So all the Marvel stuff, कि जाओ बस देखो entertain हो गया वापस आ जाओ. So yes, I enjoy that as well. जहाँ कम सोचना पड़े, pure entertainment हो. Comedy is also like that. Horror is also fun. My daughter made me go and watch this Final Destination. Allahu Akbar as well. And yes, it was also entertaining. So yes, anything that entertains you and you know it's fake and you're there for a short period of time, it's a great escape. So yeah, anything. I enjoy them all. The serious dramas, I'm not very much in love with. And this new trend जो apparently पाकिस्तान में मुझे वो रेहान स्कूल की बच्चियां ही बता रही थी scare dramas, Korean dramas, watching it with translation. Have not done that, don't have the patience to do it. I'm probably not ever going to start. Uh, but yes, there's so much content out there. Something for
Yes,
everyone.
that's good to know. That's good to know. So thank you so much for for telling us that, sir. So now could you please tell us that how many sons or daughters do you have?
Sure. I have two boys and a girl. My eldest is Ibrahim, middle one is Harun, and youngest is Mariam.
And are
दो
they all?
बेटा.
Yes, that's good to know. And are they all like on job or they are still studying?
All here. My eldest is working, Ibrahim. The other two are studying.
And what field is your eldest son who is working
So
in?
he is very fond of cars. So he was auto, sports cars or he सब जो
Auto
कचरा भी.
workshop.
So he was, no, he was working first in he was working with Daihatsu, and now he's working with a gentleman who sells RVs. So there's a RV agency where he works. RVs are these recreation
Yes.
vehicles, वो जो बड़ी
वो
बड़ी नहीं होती हैं. तो वो
वो जो
ट्रेलर
रेंट.
और ये सब अभी भी we had just driven to Ottawa, so every time there's a RV park, we're stopping, he's taking pictures, it's वो सबके अपने शौक और अपनी चीज हैं. So yeah, he's in his own world doing his own thing. MashaAllah, Allah Ta'ala give him success. He's doing well. So yeah, everyone is engaged in their own journeys in life.
That's good to know. So, do you guys also have an RV? Since you have a
We don't.
RV.
No, no, no. I am not so as adventurous as my wife is and my son is. I am quite the opposite of that. Very much a homebody. So no, अभी कोई आरवी शारवी है वो आरवी पता वो आरवी लेके उसमें रह के RV is something. I mean, I'm one of those who's like, and we're probably going to do it one of these days because I think he's really into it. Is take an RV and go for a like a 5 day cottage और अभी समर ही का टाइम है जो करेंगे इसलिए लगता है पाकिस्तान कैंसिल करना पड़ेगा वरना तो मैं पाकिस्तान आने वाला था मगर इतना जबरदस्त मौसम आया हुआ है कि दिस इज नॉट द टाइम टू लीव कनाडा दिस इज द टाइम टू स्टे इन कनाडा.
Okay, that's good to know. That's so good to know. Thank you so much for telling us that, sir. So, could you please tell us that what are your two other children studying in? In what field are they still studying in?
So humanities and economics. Son is doing economics, daughter is doing humanities, and and it's very interesting because again you as you will also realize, which is what kind of what Rehan School is also trying to do, is ki you do your bachelor's, you do your master's, you do your whatever in whatever degrees, but practical life, the things, the tools and skills that you need are a little different. The degree is not really of so much value, which is unfortunate in this world. So I'm hoping they are also now picking up these skills. The Rehan School children are much more AI aware than my children, and that is such a unfortunate thing. So I'm trying to introduce it to them, but as they also, well, that dependency they don't have yet. They're not using it that much yet. So it's also exciting that they are. I'm also introducing some of this stuff to them. So it's exciting, and I hope that they. But this, I think, they're finding very interesting as well, and I think they also observe. So I really love that. But there is a thing. They're still from the conventional schooling system, so and that is what they've been brought up in. So, like many people, they have these hesitance and resistance to change.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you so much for telling us that, Musa bhai. So now, could you please tell us that why don't you make their admission in Rehan School or an academy?
अभी वही तो मैंने बताया. So we led to that question only, that because they are used to that old traditional system, so there is some hesitance still. You know, because you still, Rehan School require, one of the things that I think Rehan School ka is very important. It is not something that can be imposed. Rehan School is not something that you can force down anyone's throat, because it is something which requires, for a student, for anyone to learn something from Rehan School, it requires patience and it requires the dedication and will. You know, it needs that. तो आप किसी को जबरदस्ती जबरदस्ती किसी को स्कूल भेजते हैं, स्कूल सिस्टम में शायद कोई सीख भी ले, डंडा खा के, अम्मा का डंडा, ये डंडा, वो शायद कुछ हो भी जाए किसी तरह. रेहान स्कूल के सिस्टम में देर इज सो मच डिपेंडेंट ऑन द पर्सन्स themselves learning. You have to complete the task. There is a methodical way of structure. There is analysis. When you watch a TED talk, देन आपको उसका एनालिसिस देना होता है. आप चैट जीपीटी से उसको कॉपी पेस्ट करके, जब गोलियां करके पढ़ पढ़ भी रहे होते हैं, तो वो टीचर्स आपकी पकड़ती हैं आपको, और ये नहीं है कि डांट देती हैं, बोलती है कि नहीं पढ़ो. दे एनकरेज इट. दे अलाउ दैट स्लो ग्रोथ which gives the person the motivation to learn more. So it's an amazing system, but you need to give it a lot of time before it starts doing its magic. So one can only do that when one believes in the system, when one believes that they are willing to do the commitment. तो ये वही चीज़ है जो कि रेहान साहब कहते हैं, and I completely agree with. आप किसी को एक दफ़ा बता सकते हैं, 2 दफ़ा बता सकते हैं, एंड दैट्स इट. ये इतना बता के छोड़ दो. फिर उसका जो मैजिक है वो खुद ही जब वक़्त आएगा उनको समझ में आएगा, जब तो इंसान कर लेगा. So I hope they see and realize what this thing is. अभी ये हो रहा है. This Rehan School thing is getting viral slowly. It's catching on fire. So I'm quite excited. देखिए, अल्लाह मालिक है. मेरी औलाद नहीं तो किसी न किसी की औलाद, बहुत सारे लोगों की औलाद बेनिफिट कर रही है, and that is what is most important.
That's good to know, and thank you so much for telling us that, Musa bhai. So, at the very end and very last, what advice would you like to give to viewers?
Fi amanallah pe aa gaye already. But I would, the viewers, I would say that to all your viewers and everybody, is one thing that you can learn from Rehan School. It is that if you are persistent and if you don't give up and if you work hard diligently and remain truthful, I think it is very possible for everyone to achieve any targets. I think Rehan School itself is a very motivating schooling system, and I think it's very beneficial for all. And which is what I would say. I mean, not necessarily कि भाई join Rehan School. Just be persevering, be truthful. I think those are the most important things. To be grateful, truthful. Standard lines. And पैसे की, हाँ, I think that this is a requirement. One has to figure out how to make money. I hope deception does not become part. Stay away from deception. That is the only advice I can give anybody, is to try and stay away from deception, because it does not lead. I don't think it is okay to lie or to deceive anybody. It is okay to be straightforward, try and do things truthfully, and inshallah, may Allah give you success.
Thank you so much, sir. So, yes, viewers, this is he is our special guest for today, and his name is Moosa M. Ilyas, and he is a very close relative of Sir Rehan Alawala, and that's a good thing to know. And I know we have already reached to Fi Amanullah, but uh, इसी तरह से छोटे छोटे बातें करते करते we have spent a lot of time. It was a good time. I
Alhamdulillah.
really loved, Alhamdulillah, I really loved talking with you. So yes, viewers, he was my guest for today, and inshallah I will see you guys with another guest, inshallah, the time. So till then, keep doing great things, and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.